Hi, Tracy. So you just got on, and I think your horse thinks when you shorten your reins up, she's supposed to go. A lot of horses make that association because people shorten up and then they immediately walk off. So here we go. So she's totally calm. Now you start messing with your reins, and what do you know? There she goes. So what I would try to do is get your feet in the stirrups, sit there, and as soon as you get those reins and you are shortening them up, hold her immediately so she doesn't walk off, and keep your legs loosed and you relaxed. So you needed to stop her much faster because she kind of walked off. And again, they learn everything within a couple of seconds of what happened. So she might not totally be making the association. And you want to lean back more when you back her up, and back her up a lot more and a lot faster. Then the other thing, when you're fixing your reins, it all pulls on their mouth. So you really don't want to flick the reins. You just want to slide your hand down the rein or take it with one hand and switch the loop over. So let's go through it again. So sit down and just sit down and relax. Don't do anything. I know you might be doing it for the camera. So there I would have leaned back and backed her up really fast, at least 5 to 10 steps, leaning back, looking over her head, and then just stand there, but keep the reins short. Okay? But you're creating energy by flicking those reins, and then she's moving forward from that energy. So you just want to get on her, sit, breathe, but have your reins short. And then when you're ready to go, just press with your calves or your seat so she knows to go from your leg and your seat, and not making the association that it's when the reins are short that she's supposed to go. So she's doing the lateral flexion pretty good. I would just give faster. So as she turns her head, give. And I wasn't sure if you're going to do it again. And there I would hold. So hold and lean back because she's releasing herself. So she's actually learning to pull more. So you just got to kind of lock your arms down so she's clear. So there, I would have sat there and done vertical flexion 5 to 10 times until I was sure she knows not to pull on the bit. But she kind of pulled on the bit and then off you went, which rewarded her. So she's going to think that's okay. Now she walked off kind of fast, which is fine if you like that. But if you don't, then I would be making circles and patterns and trying to get her to walk much slower. Okay, so you're right. She's not bending that well. So if she is leaning on your leg, then I would wear a little spur so she cannot lean on you. You're being very soft with your hands, but that's not what she needs right now. So she needs you to support her and help her more. Keep the rein with more contact so it stays a straighter line, and not to drop your outside rein. So there I would have been pushing with the inside leg and holding your reins a little bit more firm, keeping a bend in your elbow. So she learns how to bend because she's not getting it. So she's just doing what she naturally does. And again, teaching her that vertical flexion would help a lot because then when you're bending, she'll give to the bit instead of pulling on you. So I would go back and fix that first before moving on. But again, if we're practicing for Flyboy, besides the bending, because he bends better, your hands are soft, which is good. There, your body position's good. So I would just release a little bit more when she does give you a step. But otherwise, your body position and all of that was quite good. And there, I would look up, keep your chin up because you're kind of tilting your head down and to the right. But the turn on the forehand was quite nice, and I would just stand there a little bit longer to make sure she's sure that she's supposed to stand and not walk away right away. So just from what I'm seeing with how she's reacting, for her, I would make a lot more smaller circles in the beginning. I would make 2 to 3 one direction, 2 to 3 the other direction, and maybe even do that 5 to 10 minutes just to get her bending better and to get her so she's not chucking her head at all. So again, I'd come in, do your lateral flexion, do the vertical flexion 5 to 10 times, then make your circles and make them small, get her to bend, support with both your arms. And again, wear a little spur, like a nubbing spur would probably work pretty well, but always releasing when she's doing the correct thing. But body position and where you're looking, all of that is very, very good. Okay, so her gait was right there and you went past it. So I just need to know if you want to trot or not. I would not let her put her head down that low. Keep her head there. And if she starts to put it lower, just raise your hand up on one side and bring her head back up, because she kind of goes up and down. The other thing you want to do at the trot or the gait is here she's speeding up, but we didn't do much about it. So you got to get her to keep the same rhythm. If she's going faster and you want her to trot, slow your posting down so she follows your rhythm. Open your mouth and breathe in and out and relax. And then also half halt on the rein every time you sit down in the saddle until she's keeping the same speed. The other thing, sometimes when she throws her head, I'm sure it's by accident, you release. And so she gets a release from it. And so that's why she keeps trying it again. So anytime she goes to throw her head, you have to hold those reins and do not release the pressure. Like there, I might have even slid the bit a little bit hard to make her stop doing it. You're trying to make what you don't want very uncomfortable. There you need to look up towards those beautiful mountains and then look to the left, but keep your chin up and lean back just a little bit more. Otherwise, again, very nice turn on the forehand. So this is her flat walk, and that's very nice, except she keeps pulling on the bit some. But again, if you do that vertical flexion, it will fix a lot of this. But right now, she doesn't understand to give to the pressure of the bit. Instead, she pulls on pressure, and that's normal for horses. Horses always usually pull or push on pressure, and we have to teach them to give to pressure. But good flat walk, good body position, your legs underneath you, all that's good. I would give less leg when you start off. If she's a very sensitive mare, actually think you want her to go, picture it in your head, and then very lightly touch her with your leg, and then add more and more leg if she's not going, because she started off way too fast. So I would like her trot, if you're going to trot, to be just a little bit slower. Again, you can do that by slowing down your posting. They'll usually get into your rhythm, breathing in and out very slowly through your mouth, and then just half halting on the rein each time you're sitting down, and with a very light leg so she knows to keep going. So pretty good for your backup. I would just lean back just a little bit more. You're tilted just a little forward, but not bad. So here you're starting to do your turn on the forehand, but you're always kind of either looking down at her head or down. You want to try and look at the trees over here, because that'll lift your chin up, bring your head back, and will make a huge difference. So think of looking at the trees and then pick something over here to look at, because that again is going to be the direction she's going to be going. But otherwise quite good. I would have held her just a little bit more, because to straighten herself, she actually moved forward instead of keeping those front feet planted. So you just want to be a little bit more detailed with her so she really understands not to move those front feet. And to do that, you just got to hold her and keep pushing with your leg. And if she's not moving off your leg well enough, you could always carry a stick or strap it to the saddle. And when you do the turn on the forehand, just tap her a little bit behind your leg if she's not straightening out. That's a good flat walk right there. I would just like her head just a little lower for the flat walk. And then she started off, she was gaiting, and then she actually even did a little foxtrot. So again, keep her head up. I wouldn't be so relaxed that she's bringing it way down to the ground. With Flyboy, it's different. So if that's what you're practicing, is just being relaxed because you're trying to do this for him, then it's fine. But for her, I would keep her head higher than that, like right around there, but her nose tucked in a little bit more. But your shoulders are relaxed, your arms are relaxed, so all that's better. There, she picked up too much speed unless you were trying to get the canter. Now, I take it you were going for the canter. So I didn't see any preparation. I'm gonna try and go back. So here you're going to ask. Now, you have choices. So you can do it from a walk or you can do it from a trot. If you're gonna do it from a trot, the canter, you want to prepare the horse, because otherwise if you just surprise them, they don't canter off very well. They have to be prepared because they have to figure out what they need to do with their feet in order to canter. So what I would have done is slowed her down a little bit, do a sit trot, half halt on both your reins, shift your weight to the outside to the left, press with your left leg, say the word canter, and then when she canters, then you'll just keep a light pressure with both your legs. But it just doesn't look very organized, and then she kind of goes into it. It just wasn't the best departure. Now she needs to go just a little bit faster to get more of that canter rhythm. She's a little bit unbalanced. But you're sitting well. And you just gotta be a little bit softer with those arms and don't pump them or you might get in her mouth.
Doesn't mean stop. Okay, our cantering isn't so great yet.
That's okay. You did fine. So that back up is good. Just lean back just a little more. There, you actually lean back. That was better. Now again, if you're gonna do your turn, you want, well, so far your head's up. That's better. Look towards those trees or even hang something in the trees to stare at and just lean back a little bit more there. But that was a really nice turn on the forehand. That was great. But here, besides she's changing speed some of the time, you're very relaxed. Your legs underneath you. You're looking up. Very pretty body position. Looks very balanced. And the only thing I would say here is she just stopped on you. So some of the time she just either decides to stop or feels you relax. So the canter's not bad. I would sit back a little bit more. Keep a little more contact on the rein and think of half halting slightly when your butt's hitting the saddle, just to help her balance, because she's a little unbalanced there. But when she's not, I'm going to stop it for a second. When you ask her to keep going and she just all of a sudden stops, a stick would be great then, because you could wave it and push her and ask her to go. You do the correct thing. You do make her go. It's just too slow. You got to get after her a little bit faster so she doesn't get any relief. Otherwise, she's going to keep trying to stop. So as you're starting the turn, you were kind of looking down at her head. Now it looks like your eyes are up again, and I would just hold her. Because see, as you push her over, she moves her front legs instead of her hind legs. So you got to hold her more, and you might have to tap her with a stick behind your leg to get her to really understand she needs to move her hind quarter over, not her front end. And then if you decide you're going to gait her instead of trot her, since she's so trotty, then what you'd have to do is have your hands up, more contact, have her head up to about here, like even higher than it is right now, and that'll help keep her out of the trot and get her to gait. That's a better head position if you want to get her to gait. So you were just pumping your arms a little bit. Again, you can follow, you just don't want to pump too much. So she's bending a little bit better. I would bring your right shoulder back more, a little bit towards her tail. So twist at your waist. And that will help a lot more with your body position and keeping your shoulders parallel with her shoulders. And then just some of the time when I know you're cutting across the arena, I don't know if you're trying to leg yield or you're just cutting. So those things you'll have to tell me. And if you're trying to do a little shoulder in, I think you're going to have to wear a spur on her to get her to give with her body, and then just keep those hands level. You don't want to pull that one hand, your right hand, higher than your left, So keep them even, and if you're trying to do the shoulder in, twist your body first, so you bring that right shoulder back towards your hip, then get her to bend, and then push her slightly off of the rail, and then you'd go back to your inside leg. So again, if it's a shoulder in, twist your body first, look across the arena, then bend her, then push her off the rail with your outside leg, and then go to your inside leg.